Welcome to the first Story Experiential live stream of 2024.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Maria who was born with fingers as teeth.
He every day dreamed of being more respected, but also being the fastest rabbit on Earth.
Until one day, he meets a human and his dog and wants to befriend them, but they run away from him when they see him.
I came into some of this work with Tony thinking like compromise would make a great story. And I think compromising or averaging your story, if sometimes that's what middle ground can feel like, is like, you want to go this way, I want to go this way, let's meet in the middle. I don't think that makes great stories.
Because of that, he sought to be a better person instead of being consumed by wanting popularity.
Because of that, all his time was taken up by doing schoolwork.
I'm over this already.
Because of that, Jade tumbled in the air, terrified, and the rain came again as she was swept away. Because she was so high in the air, Jade crash-landed in the field, far from the tree.
I think that everything in story should be pushed, just because it's easy to pull back. But like if you move in safety measures, right, inch by inch, it really makes it hard to find anything interesting because you're going to run out of time. So the best thing you could do in the beginning, I think, at least in my opinion, is to just throw as much crazy stuff out there. Go take it far. Be extreme.
A big part of us finding the heart of the piece is through this conflict and feedback loop that we have. Mackenzie will take a pass at writing a story, and then I'll read it, and then I'll give my feedback. That iterative process helps us kind of like discover like what we're trying to achieve.
Until finally, the frog one day shows up again. This time he showed up really sad. She asked what happened and why he just disappeared, and he said that he too was struggling with his mental health and needed a break.
Ever since then, he stayed in touch with the people around him, and that he slowly grew to love himself as well. He learned how to let go of the past and focus on the present and future. He was content with what he had now. It is well, he said.
The moral of the story is to step out of your comfort zone and to try new things. You could find a new hobby and interest if you just try something once.
For me, stories always have to boil down. If I'm boiling down to a simple thing, it's always a human condition. I look at the truth of the human condition, right? There's only simple things that goes over all lines, right? Love, fear, happiness. Leaning on those kind of simple concepts allows you to kind of really dig into what the story is talking about.
Hello, and welcome to the Story Experiential Celebration and Award Ceremony for the May 2024 exhibition. I'm Dennis Henderson of the X in the Box team, and I'm thrilled to be the MC for this special culminating event. No matter how far you got in your story development, from outline to polished story reel, you met a series of deadlines to get here, and you should be proud. Tonight is about celebrating you and the incredible effort you put forth throughout the program to achieve this impressive milestone, creating an original story. But before we jump in, the X in the Box team and I want to express our appreciation to everyone who makes Story Experiential possible, to our amazing live stream guests who share their storytelling expertise and their career pathways into the industries, to the teachers and administrators for the instruction and support you lend to your students throughout the program, and to all of you, our participants, for telling your story, for all the feedback that you took the time to provide to your peers throughout the story development process along the way. We are super excited to announce that the Story Experiential Recognition Awards has a grand prize announcement for this year. The Best Story Reel awardee who receives the highest amount of peer votes will be featured in our Story Experiential blog and our social media posts to feature your creative journey. And we will also provide a one-on-one session with an X in the Box team member to review your work. Well, here we go. Our first recognition award category is Excellence in Feedback. This award is near and dear to the X in the Box team. Anyone can write a story, but developing a great story requires feedback and guidance from a community of peers. Receiving feedback on your work is what helps every one of us become better storytellers. And because of that, we purposely make the process of exchanging feedback a core part of our program. This award is granted to the top 3 story experiential participants in the youth and the adult cohorts who provided exemplary feedback to their peers throughout the program. Well, let's cue the drum roll. The first Excellence in Feedback Award in the youth cohort goes to Caitlin. The next Excellence in Feedback Award in the youth cohort goes to May. And the final Excellence in Feedback Award in the youth cohort goes to Genesis. Congratulations, Caitlin, May, and Genesis. Now on to our adult cohort. The first Excellence in Feedback Award in the adult cohort goes to Isla Vela. The next Excellence in Feedback Award in the adult cohort goes to Maria Pia Felipa Abarra. And the final Excellence in Feedback Award in the adult cohort goes to Rebecca Allen. Congratulations, Isla, Maria Pia, and Rebecca. Thanks to all 6 of our awardees for providing outstanding feedback to your peers and fostering such a supportive and impressive experiential community. On to our next recognition award category, which is for Best Story Reel. As a reminder, these awards and awardees were determined by your votes when you scored your peers' final submissions on how compelling their story is and their use of visual storytelling, character development, and story structure. Your votes were then tallied to determine the top 3 submissions for Best Story Reel in our youth and adult cohorts. These awardees will receive a reaction to their story reel this evening from my X in the Box colleagues and co-founders, Elise Kleiman and Tony DeRose, who are both Pixar veterans. Welcome, Elise and Tony.
Hi, everybody. Once again, super excited to be here to see your work and to launch it into the world.
Yeah, it's always fun to get dressed up, and the anticipation of seeing these is always so much fun, and they never disappoint.
Here to announce our youth awardees. Please welcome Xperiential alumni and another X in the Box colleague, Sky Sonomura.
Hi. Since I've been through the Xperiential program myself, I know what you've accomplished during this time is nothing short of a miracle. How did you do that? What you've created and shared is priceless because it's your story. And that's why it's the best thing to be here for you, announcing the Story Experiential Recognition Awards in the youth cohort as determined by your peers. In fact, our first award has been hiding behind this curtain this whole time! I know that because I can see it choose. Aha! Hey, I think this belongs to you. Our first Best Story Reel in the youth cohort goes to Together United by Genesis and Robert.
In a kingdom far, far away, a boy named Laren is being chased by royal guards.
Stop! You have to come with us.
He evades them by running into a crowd, only to be lost from sight from the guards. And while today is like most others, he can't help but feel like it's missing something. On that sobering note, he makes his way home. But when crossing the bridge, his eyes catch the castle that overlooks the kingdom on the horizon. And a look crosses his face.
One of the things I liked about this submission is both the character design and the world that it's told in is really well developed. The sketches are clear. The character design is very strong. The music and sound effects, I think, really also add a lot. A lot of people feel like sound is as important, if not more important, than visuals. And it was a little bit surprising in that I thought this was going to be another romance story, and it turns out to be more about friendship, not love. And I think that was just such a beautiful way to end the story. Really liked it.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, Tony. And I actually felt like there was a twist right at the beginning because it starts as a chase. It's like, oh my gosh, what's happening? It's going to be this adventure story. And then, oh no, wait, it's going to be a love story. Oh no, it's a friendship story, right? And so I got pulled into it right away because it was so exciting and dramatic. And then I was like, oh, but wait a minute, what's really happening here? So surprising, fun, clear. It was a good romp too. Really enjoyed it.
Now, on to the next award.
Congratulations!
What?
It's a beautiful baby award.
Whoa! Our next award is coming to us from a baby. A real animated baby. Oh, well, don't be shy, baby. Tell us who won next. You need not say another word. Neither does the winner, because they got by on a single line of dialogue. Come to think of it, did I already say it? It's the best thing to be here for you. Our next award for Best Story Reel is Here For You by Carolyn.
I love this story from the first moment. I was completely drawn in. I felt the emotion of the story all the way through. There's a variety of emotions. You feel right away this just pure love of the family. And then there's the deep tragedy and the sadness and the bond that develops between the father and son. And there's no dialogue, and it's completely unnecessary. Everything is there with the simple drawings, with the sound. It's just, it has everything. I love the fact that you can have such a complete story in such a simple and well-told way.
Yeah, totally agree. It's just wow was my first I teared up. There's so much emotion, so much heart. The sketching and the staging is just beautiful. There was one shot that I thought was particularly interesting. The protagonist is sad, sitting at his desk, and then you just see a hand on his shoulder, and then you see the father appear, and it was just such a powerful way to stage that moment. It just everything about this is perfect. The music choice is perfect. 15 years of story go by in less than 3 minutes of a film. It's just beautifully crafted. Can't say enough about it.
Yeah, that's such an important point. The fact that such a big story was told, it's the ability to not put anything in that's not necessary. Everything that's there is needed. It's really hard for almost all of us to do that, whether we're writing something or drawing something, to take away, but just the essential was there. So beautiful.
Yeah, super tight. I wouldn't take a frame out of it anywhere. No.
I believe the best way to introduce this Youth Story Reel winner is by showing you candid footage of how my hair looked when I woke up this morning. Mom! There's a hedgehog in my bed! And he looks like me?
Hold your hedge horses, man. I'm here to present the award with you.
Oh, well, in that case, the final Best Story Reel in the youth cohort goes to Roots and Quills, Striking a Balance by Holly, Katie, Landon, and Clayton.
Once upon a time, there was a hedgehog named Landon. Every day, his parents would leave alone for human food. He would go to school, and he had no friends. He would always eat in the corner alone. Then, one day, he went home, and then there was a thunderstorm. All frightened of the thunderstorm, he was cuddled up in a blanket, trying to comfort himself because there was no one there to comfort him. Then he started crying himself to sleep. The next morning, he went out determined to get friends.
The thing that I liked most about this submission is it's really important theme of addiction and recovery, and the way it was couched in terms of it's an animal world about human food, I thought was very clever. It's a great message. There's lots of heart. The character design was also quite good. Hedgehogs are sort of cute but a little bit prickly, and I thought the choice of that character in this role was a good choice.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought the drawings were really nice as well. Very clear, bold colors that drew us in right away. I was wishing that the voiceover was just a little bit slower. It went quite fast, and I was trying to watch what was going on and listen at the same time. And I would also say that there was a couple of places where there was movement inside the frames that didn't necessarily have to happen, so that when there was a point that needed to be made, certainly as the story is kind of coming to its conclusion, that movement maybe would make the point a little stronger. But I agree completely. This idea of a prickly hedgehog and a story, that's really important, and something that we see in so many ways happening in our worlds. Nice work.
Congratulations to Genesis and Robert, Carolyn, and one moment. And Holly, Katie, Landon, and Peyton for putting your whole hearts into your own stories and giving us all the joy of watching them unfold.
Here to announce the adult awardees. Please welcome my X in the Box colleague and also an experiential alumni, Lauren Britz.
Hello. As a writer and a story experiential alum, I'm aware of the amount of work it takes to create an original story. Well done to all of you for your incredible achievement. I'm honored to have the distinct pleasure of announcing the Story Experiential Recognition Awards in the adult cohort, as determined by your peers. The best story reel in the adult cohort goes to It's a Frog Story by Cleo Jacob.
Hey there! You see that little frog right there? Looks kinda shy, not very charismatic, but kinda cute. Well, that's Oli. Oli is a little frog, and he is going to school. Actually, he's going to Love University. It's a very proud thing to do as a frog. You honor your traditions. You know, like that very famous frog, years and years ago. Actually, millions of years ago, if you count for frog years.
From the very start of It's a Frog Story, I was enchanted. I think the drawings are incredibly appealing. They make you smile. And I love right away the idea of a Love University. We should all get to go to Love University. And the way this relationship between the two characters, Oli and Titi, unfolds, the development of their friendship. They're adversaries, they're looking for love, they're in maybe all the wrong places. The competition was so beautifully drawn out. I believed it the whole way. And it's such a universal theme. We always think things come easily to other people. The grass is always greener. It seems like we have these walls around that kind of make us seem like we are, protected from the outside world. And everybody inside has their their softness, their concerns, their sadness, and the way that comes out with these incredibly appealing characters, it was just lovely. I enjoyed the whole adventure that I went on with them.
Yeah, totally agree. There are a lot of nice little touches as well. For instance, on Ollie's desk, there's a partially obscured book, which the title reads "Romance for Dummies," and it was just, those little touches really add up. Cleo really thought a lot about what the world would be like. So the set dressing was furthered the story. A lot of ups and downs, and a surprising ending. I thought, this again, felt like it was going to be a love story, and it turns out to be about friendship. So I don't know if that's a theme out there in the universe these days, but I think it's really heartwarming. The relatability, and I was taken back to sixth grade. For me, it was John Fox. John Fox always, was faster, cuter, smarter than I was. So I really, really totally identified with Ollie. And I think many people would. So, yeah, nice work. Thank you.
The next award for Best Story Reel in the adult cohort goes to Infinite, the Superhero of the Century by Isla Vela.
What chance does my son have of opening his eyes, Doctor? In these cases, only one person out of 1,000 has woken up. A 1 in 1,000 chance? That's mine. Don't worry, Mom. I will open my eyes soon. I promise. And who are you? I am your ego. I've come to help you come to your senses, to warn you of your limits, not to create false hopes. But I want to wake up. There is at least one possibility. Are you crazy? Did you hear the doctor right? Don't even try, boy. It's impossible.
I think the thing I found most interesting in this one, in addition to the drawings and the overall arc of the story, is it's a really interesting storytelling device to tell the story from someone who's in a coma. And what is their inner life, their mental state, and are they connecting with the outside world? What are they thinking about? I can't remember seeing a story like that. So it seemed really novel in that way, and also very well crafted. The drawings are very clear. Character design is great. So nothing but good things.
Yeah, it draws you in right away. There's a very dramatic beginning. It's quite a deep and complex story. The drawings are, like Tony said, lovely. I particularly like the way light was visualized, just the simplicity of the yellow and where you saw that. And as you began to recognize, oh, that's that positive thing that I want to go towards. Again, yeah, the battle of one's ego, and seeing sort of the impossible versus the possible playing out inside this character who's in a coma was very interesting and complicated. And even how the visualization of what was going on inside the mind was created, I thought was really interesting. We lived in these two separate worlds. One was in the hospital and one was inside his mind. So yeah, really, really complex, but it worked. And we were empathizing with both sides, right? With what was going on in the real world, right? The hospital room, and what was going on in his fight against the negativity. So very compelling, beautifully done. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, one of the things, it didn't end as I expected it to. So the ending was kind of surprising. And I was just left wondering, what did Eloy learn through this experience? And so maybe that would be something that, if there's a future draft, you could make that a little bit clearer.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. This idea that he was going to just get back on the bike, which in some ways is okay. You get back on the horse, and the other ways, well, you just had this really scary experience, terrifying experience. So I think that's a really interesting point, and it kind of allows it to take the story to the next step.
The final best story reel in the adult cohort goes to The Toy Maker by Caitlin Buchanan.
The Toy Maker is another great example of a story told with no dialogue, no voiceover, just really clear, beautiful drawings that lead you through a story. There were lovely sound effects. I thought the pacing in this story was really good. We really we really enjoyed going through the discovery with the main character, finding all the bits and pieces, knowing that they were going to be used for something creative, not quite knowing what they were going to be. I love the fact that we discover kind of early on, but inside the story, that it's a combination of making some money and doing something to survive and doing something really creative. I thought within the drawings, the use of light and dark and of value was really excellent and really helped us direct our eye and know where to look.
Yeah, totally agree. This character is so cute. I really want to spend more time with them, which is good because this is just acts 1 and 2. But you already know, this is a super lovable character. They're very talented, a lot of creativity. You can see that in the space that they work in. So I'm really interested to see where it goes in the third act. I couldn't complete this story for you, so I'm just really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, completely agree. Very, very appealing character that I could spend a lot of time with. This is always, it's such a delight to see not only these stories that have won peer recognition awards, but I spend so much time on the site just looking at all the stories because, you'd think all stories have already been told, but the unique perspectives and the unique way that all of our participants share their stories, visually, emotionally, using sound. There's so much talent out there, and it's just a pleasure. And I have to say thank you to all of you for contributing and for being a part of this program and this creative journey together.
Yeah, I mean, the creative journey it's a struggle, right? And you can see that reading the comments, as a story progresses. You can see the storyteller struggling. You can see, the community, trying to offer some, pointers. The fact that it's a struggle is just built in. So, thank you for taking on that battle and creating all this beautiful work.
And now on to our final recognition award, the grand prize. Lauren, would you like to do the honors?
Yes, I am thrilled to reveal the winner of this final category, the grand prize, which includes a featured article in the Story Xperiential blog and social media posts about your creative journey, plus an in-depth one-on-one feedback session with an X in the Box team member to discuss your work. This award is being granted to the one story reel that received the highest scores of peer votes. The grand prize goes to Here For You by Carolyn.
Congratulations again. Thank you, Elise, Tony, Sky, and Lauren for joining me in this celebration. And congratulations to everyone who participated in this exhibition. Give yourselves a pat on the back for creating an original story that you can now add to your own portfolio. And remember that you own your story reel created during this program. Please note, you will continue to have access to the platform in the live streams with industry guests for an entire year from the date of your registration. For those of you that submitted to the exhibition, you will receive a Story Experiential Certificate of Completion, which you can access and download directly from your dashboard. And you will also receive your own dedicated exhibition page with a unique link. Be sure to show off your work. Share it with family, share it with friends, include it in your applications for universities, internships, or jobs. You can even submit it to the film festivals. The exhibition pages are open to the public, so share your work. And when you do, please tag Story Experiential so we can celebrate with you. This show is being recorded and will be posted on the exhibition page, so feel free to put it out to the world. Thanks for a wonderful celebration, and be sure to join us again to create more stories. That's a wrap.